Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Amber's Meal Train Video Review. Tonight's offering is the first one coming to us from west of Carmel Country Road. And I'm sure you can appreciate how those of us on the west side of the valley really have to put our heart and soul into these types of challenges because we don't necessarily have all of the resources and the advantages that our friends east of Carmel Country Road have. So I want to first acknowledge that Lauren Mikuteit and Jane Hopley have put together a great meal here tonight under the very challenging circumstances that are presented down here west of Carmel Country Road, which makes it that much more difficult. So before I start talking about tonight's offering, which features most prominently a vegan chili, I think I need to put out a very special thanks to, or I should say on behalf of, a member of our family who may have benefited from your charity more than even Amber has, and that's my son Atticus. As I'm sure many of you have experienced, whenever Amber goes out of town, or in this instance is incapacitated, I tend to rush to make up for all the lost time that she has prevented me from using to make Atticus into a man. So when she's gone, he is usually put through quite a few trials to make up for all that lost time. Now, as a result, he has adapted to the situation. So he's basically been in a witness protection program for the past few days. Ever since Amber's surgery, he's very hard to locate. And actually yesterday is a perfect example. Yesterday I cleaned up a shattered shower door because yesterday was a Saturday, and Saturday is the day after the cleaning woman comes to our home, which means that's the day I clean up after the cleaning woman. And yesterday's project, post-cleaning project, was cleaning up a completely shattered shower door. Now, under normal circumstances, had Atticus not been smart enough to hide, I would have had him doing that. But he was nowhere to be found, so I had to do it. I also replaced a dual switch, fan and light switch, and I would have had Atticus do that also, of course, without turning off the circuit breaker. But again, he was nowhere to be found. And this leads me back to why he is probably the biggest beneficiary of your charity, because the reality is I would have cooked for Amber. I would not have cooked nearly as well or as diverse offerings as you wonderful women have provided, but I would have done something. Atticus, however, would have gone hungry. I would have made nothing for him because this is the time when he is supposed to be showing he's ready to be on his own, even though he's only 15 years old. But he has his sister covering for him, and he's managed to squeak by just enough. I did spot him yesterday coming out of the guest bedroom, so I have located his hiding spot. He was smart enough to relocate from his bedroom to make it that much harder for me to find him. But on behalf of Atticus, who you are sustaining every bit as much as me, I want to thank you especially. And to provide you another update for Amber's progress, she's doing great. Lauren and Jane actually paid a visit to her when they dropped off tonight's offering, and she's in great spirits, particularly buoyed by that visit. So let's get right to tonight's offering. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a vegan chili. It is a vegan chili that is multi-beans. We've got black beans in here, looks like possibly pinto beans, onions, and the grain that Jane used is, it looks like a barley, which, and of course there's much tomato in here. And the avocado surrounding the dish was also provided by Jane and Lauren. And you can see it's quite a nice presentation. I sliced the avocado because they very considerately realized that had they opened the avocado before bringing it here, it would be brown by now rather than this vibrant green. So we have a very fresh avocado, very ripe, and a great looking chili, which on a night like tonight, which is actually a little bit chilly, this was a wonderful choice, and I'm very excited to give this a try. I am going to add a little nutritional yeast at Jane's suggestion, because she brought cheddar cheese for the dairy eating family members and suggested that I do this, so I'm going to. So we have a complete taste test here with the cheddar cheese. Before I actually try it, I do want to make clear the presentation here is excellent. The colors are very good. It's muted colors. This is not your jungle Thai curry pasta. These are muted colors, more like a fall offering. And the nutritional value is off the charts here. There's literally nothing in here that is not good for you. And I want to repeat that. There's nothing in here that's not good for you. That's a whole level above simply saying there's nothing in here that's bad for you. No, everything in here is good for you. So the nutritional offering is great. Oh, awesome. I mean that, awesome. It is really, really flavorful. Now, now it takes a lot of guts to prepare a dish like this, because Jane is, of course, married to Meat and Potatoes Bob Riley. And it's actually illegal, I think, in her house to make a chili without meat in it. So she broke the rules of the house just to prepare this so we could eat it. And that also means that this is not a dish she's made over and over again to perfect. This is one she tried for the very first time today, and let me just tell you, she hit it out of the park. Really, really good. Now, Jane and Lauren also brought lemon bars and cornbread, which are not dairy-free. So we're going to turn the camera around. We're going to get Asha's taste test and review of the cornbread and lemon bar. And before we do that, I want to just show everyone the presentation here. Very festive. We have Halloween napkins. We even have, this is just a wonderful touch. I saved this for when Amber has the meal, but it's vanilla and raw honey candle. And it's beautiful, and I can tell you, the smell is amazing. In fact, Asha, why don't you smell that? Okay. That sounds so good. Yeah, see, she couldn't even control herself. Now, before she actually tastes these offerings, I want you to be able to appreciate, look at this cornbread. The shape, obviously, a heart. I've never seen heart-shaped cornbread before. Totally impressive. And what you will also notice on both the cornbread and the lemon bar, you have just the right amount of crusting along the edges. Perfect. Just shows that Lauren cooked these just the right amount, not too much, not too little. The cornbread, the heart is actually bursting. It is so full of love and goodness. And now we're going to get Asha's taste to see if it is also full of taste.
I really like the cornbread. I usually don't like cornbread because I don't like corn, but it's good and it's not too moist because you're supposed to dip it in the chili, which I think is really good. And yeah, I think it's really good.
Now you might notice in the background, that's Atticus, and he's basically taken on the behavior of a zoo animal. So he smells when these offerings come here, and then he descends to eat them. He knows he has a very limited amount of time before I grab him and make him do something around the house. In fact, yesterday I actually caught Asha sneaking some of Netta's stuffed shells up to him. So you can see him creeping around there. I'm sure I can come up with a project or two for him to do. But again, this cornbread, I should also say that it is really made to complement the chili. So Asha loved it even without the chili. I can only imagine how much she and Atticus and Amber are going to enjoy it with the chili as it's meant to be served. And now Asha, the lemon bar.
Okay. I really like the lemon bar, especially the cookie underneath.
Cookie underneath? I didn't even catch that. Let me see.
There's like a cookie and then
Oh,
the
wow.
lemon on top of
See,
it.
I've never had a lemon bar before. I didn't know that they had a cookie crust underneath there.
The lemon flavor is really subtle, which I like, and the textures are really good. So, 2 thumbs up.
That's fantastic. Let's wrap things up. Lauren, Jane, you know how special you are to us. You are in our hearts, not close to our hearts, in our hearts. We really appreciate you braving the mean streets of Calle Mar de Bayenas to bring us tonight's wonderful offering. And I can tell you that this bowl will be devoured within minutes, and I'll have another one with the rest of the family. That's how good this vegan chili is, and I know everyone is going to love the cornbread and the lemon bars, and we are going to eat this meal with the sweet sense of that honey and vanilla candle. So thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.